when you don't have a lot of money to work with budget, right? You have budget concerns. I would say people, like short answer, people. People can never go wrong with that, right? If you have a limited budget, you have to invest in people, but you also have to address risks for taking that decision, right? So you took a decision, you were having more people, you're getting the people you want, the resources you want. People, in a way, are resources. But what does that mean from a technology point of view? Does that mean that now you're going to see more risks? If there are more technology risks, and that's going to affect the organizational objective, then you'll have to change your decision or make sure that you're not compromised as an organization, right? So there's two things. One, organizational objectives, and then two, technology risks, right? You have to make sure you understand that. You have to understand what are you giving off by doing this, what is the opportunity cost of that? You're investing here, what is the opportunity cost? What does that mean from a risk point of view, right? And once you know all of that, then you can make a good decision based on that. The main problem of this is like, you're working with somebody, they have a different culture, right, compared to what your culture is as an organization, right? You have a different organizational culture, they have a different organizational culture. That will mean they are in a different industry altogether, right? In order to have an agreement between two parties, you need to make sure there is a goal that lines up for both of us, right? It should work for both of us. And for, depending on the type of organization, that's even more, that's another complexity, right? So what do I mean by that? I mean profit. Is it a profit company? Is it a non-profit? Is it a government entity? Well, they all have different goals, right? For a for-profit, it's easy to, for-profit is the easiest way. They just want to make more money. If there are things in place in there, if what they're getting in return is more than not having it, then definitely they'll say yes. So in the whole overall, like the organizations to convince, for-profit are the easiest to convince. But you need to understand what do they really want, which is the hardest part of it, right? For-profit, it's a little bit different. Usually they have something, an impact. Usually they want to create an impact, right? You need to understand what impact they are trying to create and then propose a deal, a solution for them, right? I'll give you an example. So, I worked in the insurance domain, right, for some time, insurance crime domain, and it was a non-profit. Because we were a consortium of all the national insurers, right, in Canada. So it took a while for us to figure out, like, how can we make this happen? We want to get all the insurers on board to use this AI technology. We needed their money to build this solution. We didn't have money as a non-profit. So how did we work together to do that? And they had to provide data. So the insurers had to provide data. In return, we are going to make an AI solution using that data. And then what comes out of it, we both can profit when it comes to investigations, right? So that was the setup we created. Well, you can see there, insurers, it reduced capacity for, the capacity utilization on the insurer side, because everybody has only a certain amount of resources, right? They have 50 investigators. If it is over that 50 investigators, there's no way they can take on. What does that mean? That means billions of fraud that's going uncaught, right? So that's what that means. So once we put it in that perspective that they're actually going to end up saving money in the long term, they are saving money, they say yes. They are for profit, by the way. All the insurers are for profit. Our organization is a non-profit. For us, we wanted to make an impact. We wanted to make sure Canadians are safe from automobile fraud, for insurance fraud. That's our goal. So in order to make that happen, we had to build a solution, and we didn't have the money. So that's kind of how we worked with each other. We put in the deal, and it really worked. And another thing that I can tell you is proof of concepts. Make use of them, right? So you don't have to work fully from day one. That's another big major thing that helped us. So we said, let's do a proof of concept with 3 insurers that are most willing to jump on this bandwagon with us, right? Once we identified the 3, we brought them in, we did it, we showed the success, what's the ROI out of it for them. They said, yeah, this really helped. Then they said yes. And then Once these 3 got in, the other insurers felt left out, FOMO, fear of missing out. Then they jumped one by one. So now it's at 12 insurers. No, I thank Imai for inviting me. I was very impressed with the professional behavior of everybody here. And you can see up to the last session, there were people in there. And there was not a lot of damage done. There were a lot of people, and they all were engaging participants. So I really thank Imai for organizing this in such a beautiful manner. And I wish them all the best.